So we open with JoJo leaving the party after Sam's disrespected him.
Don't raise your voice in this house!
And I mean, you're both coattail riders, so I don't know how either of you have room to fight. So now we singing happy birthday to Pep, and Egypt trying to hit a note in front of everybody. Girl, you gave your singing up. I don't know how JoJo can afford to have a temper. You ain't no bigger than a minute. You grew up rich. You can have a temper because of your face. I would be mad if I looked like that too. I'd be 38 hot. So Pep is pissed JoJo came for Sam. Oh God. Sam, people don't disrespect you because you're an anomaly. People don't respect you because you're not worthy of respect. You live off your mother-in-law. Back in the bridal boutique with TT and her mommy, we've got the other side of the family coming in. So as we try on dresses, then TT starts to get verklempt about where she and Egypt's friendship is. Girl, just call that heifer and stop milking this plot line. So Pep wants to meet up with Little Twills. He said, how'd she get my number? Justin Bieber gave it to her. She's an EP production, fool. Girl, I need you to get that macrame out your head. That's a dirtier version of A1's extensions. So Lil Twist realizes this must be about his relationship with Sam, but he says Sam makes him feel uncomfortable in his spirit. Why? You see him in that thong and it don't look so wrong? Because you stay on his Instagram. Oh, God, Angela Yawn Simmons, the poster child of coattail riding. You know, at least T.I. and Tiny's daughters got out here and they had a little group. They tried to get a little talent together. Angela, she just slapped her name on some sneakers and kept it pushing. So he still ain't met your sister Vanessa, but he met your child. I think it's time for y'all to admit you're just not that close. You're both equally boring, but you're just not that close, and that's okay. We had to have a whole scene with them by themselves for that little tidbit of information that we already knew. Angela, why can't you just executive produce? Why do you have to bore us? Why do you have to walk in Shawty O'Neal's clodhoppers? Listen to me, fecal nostril. So now we got Egypt's son with Tretch and Tretch back in New York. Well, the clodhoppers are more the style, or lack thereof. Because she would always just wear the biggest, clunkiest thing she could find. Because she didn't have big feet. They were just unstylish shoes. So they son opening a martial arts school, and I actually think that's a good idea. But he tell him Sam and JoJo got into it at the party. And Tretch said, Sam and JoJo, yes, the two most desperate for a plot line. I mean, at least Sam has, Egypt and Pepper to fall back on. All JoJo has is the face that he fell on. Because that face looked like it hit the ground. But then again, Sam looks like Smeagol, so it's an even match. Oh my goodness. Tretch talking about beefs don't go nowhere but to the wrong place. Like JoJo or Sam would get in anything other than a slap fight. That would be a featherweight boxing match. The most they would end up with is a bruise. Put those two in the ring and let them scrap it out. You are really comparing them to Pac and Big. You are really comparing these two soft young men to Pac and Big. These sheltered kids that wouldn't even know how to fire a gun. And you gonna compare them to Pac and Big. Tretch, that's a stretch. Oh my God, this beef will start a wildfire. The only wildfire these kids know about is from Game of Thrones. Because they watched it on their iPads, off their parents' HBO Go. The only person softer than JoJo is Sam. He's got a temper. He needs to get mad at the mirror. So now Vanessa on the phone with TT. Oh, TT had a whole baby. I didn't know. So Nessa finally gonna meet Angela. We don't know if she gonna meet the boo yet, but Nessa thinks that Angela hides her relationships because she thinks she's going to judge. I don't think you're interested enough to judge. So Angela's moving to Miami with her boo. God, Vanessa, how many times can you say this is fast, 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 fast? We get it. We get it. We get it. But we've watched her have public breakups before. She'll have a public breakup once more. There is nothing wrong with embracing your body however you look. But Angela, why do you keep wearing these bathing suits with this unflattering cut? I don't know if it's the wrong size. I don't know what it is, if it's the material. But then it's too, no. Just find a better bathing suit. It always looks like a wedgie. It always looks like it's digging in your thighs. It just looks painful. Oh, God, and here we go with Vanessa. I don't mean it in a negative way, but it went fast. When are we going to meet him? Well, we can't meet him? And Angela's like, well, he's training. Angela don't want you to meet him. She done brought him on the whole show. She just don't want you to meet him. It's so interesting to watch these two genuinely dislike each other. Finally, something interesting out of Angela. Yawn. Vanessa, you could have flown your happy butt from Los Angeles to New York if you were that fascinated. It sounds like you ain't seen nobody on the East Coast. I smell salt. Vanessa, you've been Angela's sister long enough to know she's gonna make stupid decisions and you can't stop her, so I don't know why you fretting. I cannot wait for Love After Lockup to come back. So Brianna shows up at TT's house for a drink and a cheese platter. I thought she said I have a combination and I was about to freak out. I was like, now I know you ain't gonna be that obvious where you just gonna put my lingo on the show. Brianna said you could get married on a cloud. I don't care. Just make sure it's open bar. I am enjoying her this season. Brianna said, I don't really want to mess with that side of her family, but okay. I'll just have an edible or two, calm myself down. Nobody likes Sam. So TT said, look, I ain't inviting them heifers to my wedding, and that's all it is. I don't blame her. So now we got Angela on the phone with her mama, and her mama's like, are you sure you want to date a fighter? Because you're going to see him get his butt beat. And she keeps saying, he good. I couldn't do it. But meanwhile, in Las Vegas, we've got the meetup with Pep and Lil Pump. I'm sorry, Lil Twist? I get my Lils confused. So she said every time you talk about Sam, it's negative and hurtful. Well, Sam is messy and bitchy. You have an issue with the panties he had on, Lil Twist? See, it must be giving you a twist because I don't know why you would care. Why are you on his Instagram? If you don't want to look at his thong, then there's like 1,000 million other Instagram channels to be on. But you feel wrong that you want to see his schlong. He says showing your ass on Instagram and shadowboxing is selling your soul. Weren't you the one that got thrown away by Justin Bieber? Weren't you his little flunky? And then you took the drug charge like an idiot? Wasn't that you? Now that's selling your soul, going to jail. He goes platinum, you go to jail. And now you've gone to weed from the penitentiary. Oh, God, he gonna say you defending your gay son-in-law, and I appreciate it. I'll tell you what the real issue is. You done probably had a little moment with Sam, and you're just afraid he's gonna spill your tea. I'm with Pepper on this one. Why are you talking about his ass so much? I mean, you just, is it burned in your brain? It's embedded in your brain. His buttocks is embedded in your brain. Child, you just mad you can't get the whiff you want. I just don't know why you're so concerned about Sam covering his ass when you was all up in Justin Bieber's armpit shirtless. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepper was not trying to show you for anything what you were. An ass-obsessed freak. Ha! Pepper said, why you looking at his ass all the time? Turn your face. Honey, he can't look away. He's intrigued by the pussy. He's intrigued by the pussy. He wants the pussy. But he's afraid of the pussy. But he's intrigued by the pussy. He's intrigued by the pussy. All right, well, that was the shit.